Good morning, this is David Max. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. It's been a couple of months without me posting any information. Been pretty busy on vacation and reorganizing our Max branding. Today I want to talk to you about the 5 things that we all want in life. Number 1, we definitely want to be very, I would say not famous, but we want to be acknowledged and we want to be recognized. We want to be relevant. We want to be in social media and everybody to know who we are. Number 2, we definitely want to be loved and appreciated, and that's very important too. Number 3, we want to be financially independent. Number 4, we want to live a balanced life. And number 5, we want to retire early so we can continue to enjoy the rest of our lives. Isn't that amazing? Well, let me tell you something. Based on my own experiences and the experiences of my friends, I found out that in order to be living a very relevant life, you need to be able to have a little bit of education, not only about career or your profession, but actually you need to have certain knowledge of cultures and the history of our civilization. And you have to be up to date with new information, so that requires a lot of reading, watching a lot of videos, taking your time to actually listen to not the radio or anything like that only, but other sources of information, putting CD, MP3 or whatever you need in your car in order to acquire information. That would allow you to have relevant information. Also, you have to be able to communicate properly. So your message has a lot of power and you need to make sure that you know how to handle that message. Number 2, you definitely want to feel love and appreciation. I don't believe that you can properly love anybody or receive love properly if you don't get to know the love of God as a father, provider, mentor. So, the Bible is a good instrument, like it says in Timothy, for us to learn the Word of God and to equip ourselves and to be able to equip other people. Number 3, you definitely want to be able to live in a way that you don't have any limitations as far as your finances, and hopefully you're able to retire, like I'm going to talk about later. So the first thing you have to do is you need to be able to manage your tangibles and intangibles, your treasures. So you need to define the difference between a career, which is something that you study, a profession, which is what you do for a living in order to provide, and also a calling, something that you would do even if you wouldn't get paid for it. So very important to make this distinction, and you need to find a calling, something that you do out of your heart, out of the abundance. You cannot get to live a happy, abundant, and fulfilling life if you don't find something that you really love in order to do it. Now, once you do that, you need to manage your resources properly. So the biggest resources of all of the resources available is time. It says in the Bible, and also Benjamin Franklin used to say, that the person that knows how to handle his time should be able to stand before kings. So that means that time, it's money, and it's also the greatest resource. So you need to be able to handle your time, and instead of finding excuses not to organize your time and appearing to be busy, you can do a lot of things if you really learn how to organize your time. That will give you the opportunity to live a balanced life. The fact that you don't live a balanced life is not that you're doing too many things. It's just that you need to make better choices as far as your time. You need to spend time with people that are good, that are, mutually beneficial to you, instead of just hanging around with superficial people. Manage your time properly. Find the job, the opportunity, the business that would allow you to live a balanced life. And unless you work in hospitality or something like that, you shouldn't be working on weekends. Now, the other thing is that you want to retire early. Wow, and you want to take vacations while you're living too. So there is a conflict right there, because we want to take a lot of vacation while we're young, and also we want to save for retirement. So the only way to do that is that you actually need to learn how to save money. And let me tell you, for me, that I'm self-employed and I'm an entrepreneur, very tough to save money. So you need to make sacrifices. And the first sacrifice that you need to make is, you know, when you're tired and you are stressed or things like that, watch how you behave, because you can get into expensive meals, you can buy clothes that you don't need, and you can do things like that. So in my case, I have trained myself only to do things strategically and try to plan as much as I can, so I don't have any stress related purchases or meals or anything like that. The other thing that you have to do is that you need to have a job that provides for your daily needs, but you also need to have additional sources of income that would allow you to save money and eventually retire. Because, you know, unless you have the type of job that has a 401k or something like that, that you can aggressively save a lot of money, it will be hard to save enough money for you to retire. How much money should you have in order to retire? Well, it depends on your lifestyle. I mean, the minimum that you can get a return on investment is on, you know, U.S. government bonds and things like that. So if you get 4, 5, 6%, you know, and you have your house paid for, your vehicles and all that, you can get away with having, I don't know, $500,000, $1 million and living a very frugal life and getting Social Security or any type of retirement. But if you are going to need $100,000, $200,000 a year, you're gonna need a couple of $1 million saved up, and a regular job won't provide that for you, and that's why you need to learn how to make additional money. Well, this has been David Max the Entrepreneur. I hope that this message was very positive for you, and you know, we can continue the conversation. God bless you. I wish that this is the best week of your life. Bye bye.